There's no stigma going to the doctor for cold or flu or whatever, right? But to go to a doctor and say, hey, something's wrong with my head is, you come from a good family. You've got, at the time I was married, right? And all of a sudden I come back with this diagnosis of bipolar, and I thought my life was over. And so for the first couple months, it was like, I couldn't even believe that was my diagnosis. I couldn't fathom how awful that was.
When Matt first came to me, he was definitely in a lot of pain at that time and a lot of chaos going on in his life, and he was really struggling, so some suffering.
In the United States, it's like just kind of man up, if you will, that saying, deal with it yourself. That's kind of what we're taught to do. And that's the worst thing you can do with a mental illness or anything, right? Take away mental illness, right? And talk about someone who's just struggling, right? Just with a job loss or whatever it is, they're struggling in their head, right? And if they don't talk about it, if they don't have a place to go, then it builds up and it becomes something far greater and far more depressing or far more difficult to deal with. And then, like you said, everybody has something, right? Some of us just have more of something.
Everybody is inspired by the, amputee that skis and, the diabetic who was on Ninja Warrior last week, and, you're really rooting for those people. But when it's something you can see and it's obvious, you're inspired by people that overcome things. But this is all in the brain, all this illness and all this stuff that's going on in somebody's inner life. And so you can't see it.
I can't even hold a marriage together because of this, right? That's what the thought process is. And you come to Carrie and you go, Carrie, I don't know that I want to make it, right? It's just that low. And for her, and it's not just pointing out all the good things, it's for somebody who actually sat there in that low time, right? Who sat there and said, hey, it's going to be okay.
There's so many people that, feel unwell in terms of feeling too high or too extreme or low or even anxious. People have a lot of panic. Just to know there's so many people, and I hope more and more people like Matt will come out and start talking about it, and then they'll be at work one day and they're like, oh, did you see that story? I have that too, or I suffer from depression. And pretty soon you're around all these other people that are saying, I have this, and then you don't feel so alone.